Hello, everyone. Uh, Delayed quick start to the stream today. I was trying to wait until I was matched with at least one person before starting stream. I matched with one person, and then the queue immediately went brown with a full table. So that's where we got today. Fourth seat here against Slizer, rated 383. Beejmeister, who seems to be, occasional quitter, very experienced player, but 3 games of Agricola, and Baritone Sax rated 357. Some good cards in this pack. Hewer and Fur Cutter, very good. Wood Workshop, really good. Fat Stock Stretcher can be really good. I think it's a clear Wood Workshop with Hewer. One fun thing that I think will wheel is the Entrepreneur. Playing that early, buying a clay, and letting that enable Wood Workshop in some situations could be really good. By the way, this is like the exact same background art as Joinery. Don't ask me why I know that. But Joinery, like, you take the guy sawing wood out of the joinery, and it's just the Wood Workshop. Very funny. Plow Hero and Fur Cutter, I'm pretty sure get taken. Miller is actually pretty good in some situations with Hewer Wood Workshop. Yeah, I should get a good miner of some kind on the wheel. One of these 5. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, let me know if the music seems too loud. I can adjust it again. I didn't change it compared to yesterday, but I really have no idea what's going on there. Hello, Zizak. Much better than yesterday? Yeah, I didn't change a darn thing. Hilbray, thanks so much for the tier 1 in the 29 months. Wow, thanks so much, Hilbray. Smooth. Okay, well, I'm gonna turn it back up a tiny bit. Back to normal for me. Beejmeister did make a pick, so that just means that it was thinking, being new to the card set possibly, rather than a quitting situation, so that's a bit of a relief. Lumbermill, Steam Plow are the minor improvement considerations here. Fruit Ladder's not bad, especially from 4th seat, giving some protection against the 3 wood first action. Could draft myself here, the Spice Trader. It's that or Layabout. Not particularly excited about either. Feels a little early to draft Steam Plow. I think my Wheel Ock is going to be good, but I don't think I'll get to 4 Ox before Lumbermill. With Hewer, like, having a sink for extra stone is pretty good. Spice Trader has a big chance of not getting played, so I think I actually want to ignore it and just take the Layabout. 4th seat playing a big factor in this decision here. And yeah, I don't think Fruit Ladder would be a bad pick. Interesting. Seeing a few extra pigs this draft with Mud Patch in addition to like the Acorns Basket, Wholesaler, Stockman, Shed Builder. Wholesaler's maybe a bit better than usual because Fur Cutter's in this draft, but I'm not getting the Fur Cutter back. I think Throwing Axe is going to be better with extra pigs in the game, so pigs are on pig market for longer. And I think it's overall maybe the best card in the Miners pack. Yeah, this seems fine. I do have, hopefully, some extra wood this game. Animal Activist, sure. Ooh, a Sourdough. Thresher. I don't really need Thresher. The Miller. From pack 1. I'm not sure is coming back. But yeah, Sourdough seems like the pick. I mean, nothing especially wrong with Pottery Yard or Woodcraft. I'm just not big fans of them necessarily. Both of these seem extremely reasonable. With Layabout, I think taking the wood card is maybe a bit better. Hello, everyone. Don't think I said hi to Thrall or Lord Pydo, Rainier, Kuming, Agnetto, Heroic Logic. Hello, everyone. Let's see what comes back here. The downside to Animal Activist is I probably want to play it kind of early. I mean, I'm really glad I didn't take Spice Trader now. That would have been a bad pick, given I got Shed Builder third, and some generally early Ock here with Animal Activist and Hewer. And we still might be going Entrepreneur with this next pick. As I said earlier, Entrepreneur for Wood Workshop I think makes a lot of sense. But fourth seat means probably don't get a choice, or definitely don't get a choice of the first action of the game. There could be cards in this draft I didn't see where someone takes 3 wood with their first action of the game, but I'm currently expecting to get 3 wood myself, which wouldn't be bad. Entrepreneur and Miller. Fat Stock Stretcher seems good, with possible early stables. I think it's probably better to skip trying to fit Entrepreneur into all this. Just take Miller to build a cookery or oven, depending on where my game is. If Fat Stock had gotten taken, I'd be on Bucksaw here fairly happily. A little surprised no one took Fat Stock, but it is a card that people can sleep on sometimes. You know what actually isn't terrible here is Case Builder. Shed Builder kind of feeds Case Builder a little. Gypsy's Croc. Milking Parlor could be fine. None of the Plow Help came back. which is kind of sad. With Shed Builder, I do want some plows. Probably Sculptor, because even 2 food, I don't believe in. Not that I'm really aiming to take stone spaces, but even if this is just a D draft, I think that's fine. Milking Parlor, we are assuming that there will be a lumber mill discount on it if I end up getting to that point in the game. And is this a potential Stockman wheel? Stockman would be pretty sick here. Nope. Though you know what I am gonna take is Scholar. Sculptor, Hewer. If there's other stone inflation, I can do one of my favorite things, which is try to build a stone room at normal cost. And then Telegram could be useful. I don't think Ag Fertilizers is super useful. It kind of forces you to fence twice. Maybe it does something. Yeah, okay, let's see. Wanting to build stables at some point does make Ag Fertilizers possibly better. I mean, the prereq of a pasture sucks. Okay, given what I have in my hand, if I have 3 wood first action, I probably plow second action if it's available. 2 clay would be ideal, but I don't think I'm getting that 8th pretty much ever. So then plow, then day laborer. I don't think I have any interest in taking a grain. If I have to start because day labor and plow and 2 clay are all gone, and I have 3 wood, I'm just not going to prepare for that one. If that happens, that will suck, but I'm going to say that's not very likely. That is a pretty specific combination of things. Could definitely be a fun Scholar game. Scholar playing out stuff like Shed Builder, possibly Layabout, Sculptor. Maybe Miller is something I still want at that point. I mean, possibly Miller to play a Stone Oven out, depending on what the stone situation is. But definitely Hewer early, probably Animal Activist early. If I do get to play like Animal Activist round 1 here, which I think is pretty unlikely, 1 clay could be a reasonable second action just to be able to play Wood Workshop. Slicer goes with the Entrepreneur. So day labor becomes a somewhat probable second action for them. This game looking like it might take a while. I'll try to be extra ready on my turns. This is not something you see every day as a 100 rated player with 3 games on their profile taking Reedstone. That is an action early on super duper undervalued by more beginner players. Though, if I start thinking about all the players I know in the Agricola and overall gaming ecosystem, I do think I know who they are and who this spectator is. So maybe Beachmeister is not as new of an Agricola player as their profile suggests. If I had to go deeper on my guess there, they've played a couple hundred EIK games, which would also explain their slowness in draft because this is a different set. So I'm going to go out on a kind of far limb there and take that guess as to their playing ability. Not treat them as a 100 player, treat them as someone who has fairly good instincts, but not enough knowledge of the card set in terms of their current skills. Detective work is definitely one spot I'm really solid in. It's also why you don't want to cross me ever, because I will find out plenty about you. We had a junior artist from Baritone Sax. I don't remember other day labor cards. See, like, how good of an instinct is that? Start player, undo, take 2 wood. Like, that's great. That's, like, very solid. Alright, we got a plow here, so my options are day labor or start. Well, I said I didn't really want to start. Is that still true? Is this a 1 clay situation rather than day labor? I thought I was going to be ready for this move, and then I wasn't. Classic. Let's take the day labs. Taking a clay action can be better timed in order to try to get a longer stretch of hewer. Like, if no one takes clay this round, be ready to take it at 3 in round 3. Entrepreneur buying a reed, not surprising. They have gone a little low on food already. Seeing them go for Reedstone here would not be surprising at all. I'm not expecting to get Reedstone here. 2 reed would be great, but I'm not really expecting that either. This round could just be free animal activist into 2 wood. Oh. What about free animal activist in defense 4? Just kidding. Why would I get a free Ock? That wouldn't make sense, actually. Junior artist is in front of me. Thinking about Hollow as a potential 8th action of the round. Gosh, this junior artist in front of me is going to make me not be stingy about this first free Ock. And I don't like it. Well, that's pretty unexpected for Fur Cutter to fall all the way to Baritone Sax, and for them to play it here. Are they thinking of taking Sheep Wood? I think I will still take 3 wood here. I don't need to play Animal Activist as first Ock, it can be Hewer. This also is still a way for me to fence second action if Baritone does not take Sheep. Sorry, Hewer's E-Deck, and I never bothered to get E-Deck into that command. A start player from Slizer here for a Woodcraft. Okay, so they're going to buy a wood with Entrepreneur and then try to take 4 Wood Grove. Possibly. Plow in a slightly odd location for Beachmeister. And it's getting another Ock here for Baritone. Slizer's sequence could look something like buy the wood with Entrepreneur, take 4 wood, get a food. Second action, build, and that gives them 0 wood, 0 reed going into round 4, allowing them to Entrepreneur. So that is actually my guess as to what they will do. Heaven forbid they have something like Wreck Carpenter to spend their action on a good space rather than an uncontested one. Their food is going to be at 2 going into round 4 if they take that line. Baritone with the undo on the Ock. Has no building resources. And it is going to be Sheepwood. Are we going to be experiencing some Christianity here? Or is there something else going on? Okay, the 2 wood changes things in multiple ways. Slizer doesn't get that line they would prefer anymore. It also leaves Expensive Ock open for me so I can just play this Animal Activist. To play, pretty reasonable. We are with Sheep before Major, well now Major's out. I could have prepared a possible Miller play if Major was late. think Slicer still takes 3 wood here with a food. But now Entrepreneur doesn't do anything next round. 4 clay immediately for Beachmeister. This is just going to be Hewer 3 clay. I don't see a better line for me. What would be even better is if someone else takes 3 clay. Slicer with first fireplace. Undo. I guess they can Entrepreneur a clay this way. I didn't really notice this line, but it makes sense. Makes plenty of sense. Baritone, I think, is likely to day labor into traveling. Beachmeister starts with a scales. Yeah, see, this is exceptional patience on scales for what seems like a 100 rated player, but no, they're better than 100. Like, it takes people quite a bit of rating, usually, to not go 3 wood start scales in round 1 if you have it, right? And a round 3 start player is also something of a sign. I go back and forth on thinking how good a round 3 start player is. I've seen a few really effective ones recently. Alright, can we do a little less undoing? This is my only real action. There is plenty of good stuff on this board. Slicer deciding whether or not to buy a clay. Before the inevitable Grove move there. Reed move or 4 wood both look good for Baritone. It's going to be 4 wood. I do really want Reedstone here, but even more, I would like Reed Bank. If someone takes Hollow, That would be bad, because Hewer is supposed to give me my 4th food here. At least that's my point of view. Depending on what Beachmeister does, if no one takes Hollow, I can start for the 1st or 2nd room with Wood Workshop. Slizer does need a food move, so if Baritone doesn't take Reed, I don't really need to start for that. But Baritone taking Reedstone seems very solid, so we'll see what actually happens. Definitely not the first thing they click. The first thing they click never happens. In some way, it's, like, nice to know what people are thinking a bit more. Like, I don't recommend doing this. Unless you're really trying to, like, master plan deceive people. Okay, we have a basket carrier. That explains some of the deception, or indecision, I should say, not deception. Chances Slizer takes 2 clay. Pretty darn low. I don't think we're both going to be begging here. There are 3 food actions here for Slizer. The sheep versus the fishing versus the Reedstone. And it's not a necessarily obvious choice, so. The sheep is the safe play. Nothing really wrong with the safe play. I will look to fish second action if available. But if it ends up being Reedstone, that would be totally fine too. It is early grow. And that's fine. I do have stuff like Throwing Axe, Sourdough, Fat Stock to help me out with early grow. Scholar's unhappy, but getting the 2nd room here is fine. In terms of farm arrangement, I think I'm happy to just build vertically for now. This is slightly worse for Shed Builder, slightly better for Layabout, so my position's fine. I feel like I drafted a more flexible hand this time in terms of growth flip. Wood Workshop and Hewer and Lumbermill. I mean, Hewer gets a little worse in early grow, but I have a lot of efficiency in my hand for ways where I'd have to take more actions, and for ways where I don't have to take more actions in, like, the Scholar side, Shed Builder side. So this should be fine. As far as I can tell. Slicer starting for the third room here. Starting for the third room, not usually recommended because it doesn't usually provide the exact advantage that it does this game. This game, the growth queue is based around when you built, and when you build one round in this game, you're guaranteed to grow in the next round if you are not messing things up. So the start for a third room is really a start to grow in round 7. This will be a grow for Beachmeister. And we'll see what Baritone does. I kind of suspect 4 clay, which is not good news for Hewer, but I think it's either that or Day Labor Ock. I think fishing gets to me. I guess also possible is 3 wood and angle for a double build. That would make some sense. Reedstone BMW also makes some sense. Basket Carrier really loves BMW. Plenty of reasonable moves for Baritone here. That round 1 field for their inevitable Basket Carrier makes a lot of sense as well. Alright, they're not taking 3 wood. Whoa! Alright, still not really expecting 4 clay to be untaken here. Slicer or Beachmeister could definitely take 4 wood. Though I think Beachmeister probably wants to Ock. Not a bad time for them to Ock. Slicer Ocking here kills that off. We have a fish friend. Oh, Baritone has an action too? No, this 4 clay is definitely getting taken. I don't know by who, but it's definitely getting taken. Hearth -2 food. As they now can't get scales for first Ock. Slicer will build, unsurprisingly. Because Hewer didn't proc, I don't have 2 stone for Lumber Mill. Wah, wah, wah. I will play Fat Stock Stretcher. The fact that they're willing to do that and not lock into trying to get every scales actually does suggest that they're a solid player. Solid players are partially solid because they don't obsess over getting every fraction of value from a card they play. Like, I'm going to play Fat Stock Stretcher here. I would like to have Lumber Mill down first, but I already have Wood Workshop down, and having Fat Stock down is going to be fine. Baritone is going for the double build line. We'll see how profitable that ends up being. Insert bell curve meme? Exactly. Unconvinced about scales into no walk at all. What I think this also could be is Ed bonus. I would not be the most surprised to see Beachmeister take 2 sheep and then play an ed bonus. Um, but it does make scales a little odd. So, we'll see. Though, them having scales does mean there's only one miner they have that I haven't seen. So for that to be ed bonus, you know, not the highest odds. But that is some reason to play 2 improvements before a knock, even though scales is the opposite. Alright, I've already started thinking about my next turn and been chatty, so... fairly confident Slicer doesn't take Reedstone here because they can Entrepreneur or Reed. Indeed, they take 3 wood plus Woodcraft, very sensible. We'll see if this is 2 sheep or Reedstone or Ock for Beachmeister. All those seem to make some sense. The reason a double build for Baritone is a bit sketchier of a line is because everyone with a room already isn't far from their next room parts, and that the double build for Baritone ideally happens in round 8, the same round they build, so... that probably is not happening without a growth delay. Reedstone for Baritone. This looks more like a 1 room plus BMW for now, which also would be good. We have Late Stone, which is good for Hewer. I could do something like play Sculptor here. Which would be kind of weird, but kind of sensible. Playing a Pasture for Ag Fertilizers doesn't feel particularly good. I don't have a ton to do here, so it's Plow. Or like 2 wood or Traveling, but instead of Traveling, I'd rather just play Layabout for 5 food. Maybe that is the play, because otherwise I'm going into round 8 with like no food. Yeah, I'll play Layabout here. It's a bit early, but I think the tempo's fine. In later stages, I'm hoping to actually do some farming, so to get the skipped harvest out of the way while I have no farming going on, I think makes some sense. We are seeing an ed bonus. That is not an ed bonus. That is a fruit ladder minus 2 food. What is going on? Is this a Prodigy setup? This is a Prodigy setup. That's funny. Scales is a point for Prodigy. Figured it out. Alright, now Lumber Mill is set up to go. Just because I played Layabout doesn't mean I can't take 4 food here, and I might. The board is a little dry. I am going to be ready to take 4 clay with the last action of the round if someone else is taking the 4 clay. Things are looking okay for Baritone here in terms of double building next round. That's unfortunate. Baritone can Reedstone here. Reedstone would be sharp. Basket Weaver's kind of like Reedstone. Must be nice to have Basket Carrier and then get past Basket Weaver. Those two in Junior Artists, the 3 Ox of theirs I haven't seen, and they got the Fur Cutter out of my first pack. It is pretty involved, but to do those 2 actions in 1 action seems good. Hopefully by taking Reedstone, I force Baritone into building. And trap them if they don't. Because... yeah, I'm looking at 1 read if applicable. Slizer's growing next action. Baritone can double build and rebuy the read on Basket Carrier. Major here? That's interesting. Surely you'd just start. Alright, well, I can still build a room next round. It does seem likely that I'm the next to build. And I do want to start with Lumbermill. It is just Beachmeister with the... and they suggested they wanted to play a major. So maybe I can just start first action. I mean, I don't want to entice them to take Forest too much. Maybe it's Plow O'Clock. That's actually not the right spot to plow. Or at least it's a slightly less comfortable spot for me to plow. Because I want 4 stables, and I really am used to building 4 stables here. Interesting. I mean, that is a good entrepreneur card. because it has a cost of reed or stone. Those are fantastic entrepreneur cards. It can be hard to keep entrepreneur going, so the fact that you can get rid of a resource like that is good. Alright, Beachmeister starts. I guess I should have seen that possibility. And in this case, I just take Forest. Is Maximum Prodigy an actual game plan? It can be. Like, I don't think this is a bad way to do it. Get first grow. Your minor improvements overall generally help you with food. It can be part of a game plan. It's not like a full game plan, but it's definitely a solid part of one. Also, just like capping it at 5 kind of early is a good way to play it. You don't need to play it for absolute maximum. Okay, I am going to get a reed move here. That is good news. Maybe Beachmeister is Zach. I am 99.9% confident that is not the case. Yeah, not allowing Baritone to double build this round is pretty important, and that's why Reedstone last round would have been really good for Baritone, because that would shut down my options to kind of force whatever sequence is happening right now. It does turn out that if I had delayed layabout till this stage, I'd get like 1 extra food out of it. But I think we can all agree that's not a big deal. What I hope doesn't happen is Slizer or Beachmeister taking start player, though I have to admit that is somewhat likely for Beachmeister. If they go to read and I build, they might start. Hello, Alex. There is some consideration to try to get to a 4-room stone house by like round 11. Scholar playing 3 cards would be nice. Okay, a drill harrow. I was afraid of apiary. Drill harrow is certainly not as scary as apiary here. Baritone has bit of a food shortage, and I get to put them last. I think the Stonehouse strat is probably not the one, because right now I have well tempo, unless Slizer or Beachmeister take 2 stone, which is possible. But I think Slizer's Renoing. I guess that makes 2 stone somewhat viable for them. If I don't get the well, that does put me closer to wanting a 4-room stone house in stage 4, and that is what's going to happen. Fair enough. That is fair enough. Beachmeister is seemingly going down the path of getting a grain veg field down in stage 3. However, if Baritone can get like 5 food, they'll be able to like sow 2 grain fields instead. But a grow throwing axe looks really good for me here. I could build 2 stables, but I'm not going to because Shed Builder has not been played yet. This does look like Reno well, though it could be Reno Stone Oven because this Bucksaw is happening and Slizer does not have a ton of food. The animal piles are going to be decent going into next round, so I do still expect the well here. Yeah, and they do still have a sheep as well. Farm building is happy with either, of course. Should be a good farm building for them. They can upgrade fireplace. I could get greedy and claim that Baritone doesn't have time to grow with all the other stuff they have going on, but I think that would be too greedy. And getting Throwing Axe down with this action could just be really solid. I mean, I think it is really solid, I should say. I'm going to hope no one goes for 4 clay, though admittedly Slizer can take 4 clay 3 reed this round and have clay room parts. Slizer deciding on an entrepreneur here, and does buy a stone. That does suggest to me that they're going for the reed clay plan, though they probably need to take an animal space at some point, maybe first with Beachmeister having a hearth. Play Throwing Axe, net a wood. Alright, first person to 4. That is nice. Decent chance of getting, like, Grove plus 2 food second action, which would be sick. Though I suppose both animal spots are 6 food value for Beachmeister, and if Slizer takes one of them now, the other one probably goes right after. Possibly goes right after. Maybe Beachmeister prefers a clay oven. I am not really sure what's going on. Even though all my opponents are currently showing a food shortage between like 2 and 4, roughly, they all have some good options for it. 2 pigs here is not what I expected. That is a bit of a strange move. There was the mud patch and acorns basket, but to just take 2 food less in order for me to get 2 food less. I mean, I don't even get 2 food less. Beachmeister I'm going to guess, would have taken the 2 pigs. I think that's just a misstep by Slizer. Unless it is for something like acorns or mud patch. There was a plow hero and a steam plow in this draft that have not shown up yet. I did not see the drill hero to help with fields. Why do people love Naked Junior Artist? Yes, it is just half a patron and +1 food on traveling. It's one reason I suspected Apiary, because otherwise, like, playing an Ock that does that little really doesn't seem worth much. Baritone ends up with the 3 read. I'm kind of surprised by that move. Okay, I have things I want to do. Plowing is really good. Taking wood is fine. Though taking it next round when throwing axe applies could be better. Probably just plow. Ocking is reasonable. Reedstone is reasonable. It's possible I should have taken 4 clay. Because I think... Well, now without the read on the board, Slizer is way less likely to take the 4 clay. And because Baritone is short on food, Beachmeister will be able to sow 1 of each crop here. Very solid. This is a pretty EIK game plan from Beachmeister, I have to say. Not in a bad way, but certainly feels a lot like an EIK plan to me. Original Agricola, you see this play pattern a lot from good players. Not finding much crop support in the draft, but then finding a way to get 1 of each crop down in stage 3 regardless. I am currently start player. Beachmeister's not taking it. Baritone doesn't need to grow. It's currently fed, barely. So they could Ock. Scales, yeah, it's just it's a prodigy game, so Scales is just wood to point. Am I gonna regret not taking 4 clay? Probably. Baritone, that's probably Baritone's action if it's not 4 food. So I will hurt my own hewer here, which I need to do at some point. Given I was not clay policing in round 7. 2 other people took 4 clay that round. And this gives me chances to get scholaring for the last 3 rounds, which I think is fine. Would be fine if it happens. The Other reason Foreclay is not amazing here is because Baritone can justifiably take 3 next round to get to Reno parts. Fishing, very valid from the fish friend. That 4 food is more like a 6 food move if Baritone doesn't day labor travel. It's a very obvious so for Beachmeister here. And if Baritone doesn't start, I get to open with 4 wood, 2 food. This is a 1-so game for me. If I do get the Stonehouse plan, it'll be late Shed Builder, like round 13, build 4 stables, and prepare for a round 14, so something like that. Baritone on Reedstone, great. I'm very happy to retain start here. I don't really know when Beachmeister's Renoing, so that could get awkward. But the rest of my game needs to happen right now. Getting fences down this round would be nice, because it is going to be 1 sheep, 1 pig on the board this round. And if cow flips, we might have 3 breeding pairs on the board in round 11. And I would like to be the one with fences if that's the case. Thanks, Alex. No, I came in today with a much better attitude. I had a little refocusing at the end of yesterday's stream. Some of my sadness yesterday was outside my control, I just want to point out, from having to restart and wait that long. I was somewhat bothered by that. And I was in a fairly good mood before that. But, yeah, because, as I said at the end of last stream, I have been playing a little less Agricola. It's been on my mind a little less recently. I'm going to be focusing more on having a good time playing rather than try-harding to win, especially at good tables. Like, I'm just not at my highest performance, and that's fine, but... Ridiculous quit? I mean, to an extent, most quits are ridiculous, but... Yeah, Reedstone 2 wood into quit. Trying to win games. Who would ever do that, indeed, Patrick? Winning for chumps. Alright, Slizer has 11 wood. I think that means my next move is just build some fences, and that's fine. Having 2 fields already gives me some hope of getting 5 fields. But it means I don't need defense big. 2 stone for Beachmeister. It does seem like they want an oven. So, with play oven already gone, that does leave only 1 oven. I could play Miller and try to get in there, but I'm not super motivated to do that. I think just saving this stone for an earlier Scholar would be great if possible, though I guess Beachmeister is going to reno the stone oven. Yeah, the Scholar is maybe not worth it. I should calm down on that. Yeah, thanks, Lazurichois. And thanks, Thrall, so much for the gifted. Really appreciate that. That's, yeah, thank you so much. Reedstone's not typically an action you see too much from the player with Basket Carrier. This is going to be D-Labor Travel, yeah. Nope. Nope, why would it be anything? Why would it be anything? Again, knowing more information is nice, but all the undoing is definitely unsettling to an extent. Uh, After Ugrain utilization, you get 2 food, so Baritone still needs to get traveling before hitting grain utilization here. I am glad it's not Salter. Salter would make me think twice about fencing here. What's funny is that I can play Milking Parlor with Wood Workshop Lumber Mill happening. That's fun. With Plowgon, I can now look at Reedstone and Reno. I can still take 2 wood. Not Reno? It's just Reno. You can't fool me. I know where this is going. I have to say, I do enjoy knowing what other people are going to do before they know. You don't have the food for this. Oh, you're going to bake first. I did not consider that option. I suppose it's okay. But to do this without another crop? I guess grow is the last action. Yeah, okay, okay. What exactly I'm taking Reedstone for instead of waiting for 2 Reed is maybe a mistake, but I just have the action to spare. And I do think it's wanted enough by Beachmeister. Baritone's growing. Slizer could take 2 wood. Could take veg. Plow will be contested next round. By the way, these could be my only fences this game, and that could end up being fine. With 4 stables, oh, I guess I can only fence 3 of them this way. No one's wood situation looks good enough right now to really fight animal activists super hard. I mean, Baritone with fur cutting could get there, but Baritone currently has no capacity, including ways to eat the animals. Including no ways to eat the animals. Taking BMW and Clay Oven makes some sense with Basket Carrier, but really not having a cookery with Fur Cutter is surprising. with 2 wood gone, I don't have a lot to do. Start is redundant because I have the last action of the round. I'm not in control of starting or not. I could just go and play Sculptor or Shed Builder. I don't want to play Miller because the only thing I'm interested in is Cheap Fireplace, and that has not been replaced yet by Slizer, but I think it does happen eventually because of farm building. Maybe it doesn't? Yeah, Fur Cutter can be absurd, but even with early grow, it's not happening here. What are my other options? Yeah, just playing Shed Builder on Expensive Ock doesn't feel great. What I can do is take 4 clay next round, and just Reno Hearth. Ag Fertilizers does come with a wood workshop wood. Five food for Beachmeister, assuming they ever ock. Or sorry, that's 4 food in the stone oven. Pottery and Joinery are still out there. Kind of funny, I can afford Joinery, actually. Is that ever what I'm doing here, is playing Joinery? Sounds kind of absurd, but also not. I'm opening next round 2 pigs. And 2 sheep, because I don't want to get greedy over those. Reno seems open for now, so I could just Reno Joinery then. Plow will be gone by my 3rd and 4th action, but Shed Builder probably won't be. Traveling... Well, yeah, I don't think I can afford... Wait. All that talking, what does that mean I'm doing here? I am playing Shed Builder? Oh, I've talked myself out of so much already, I can't keep track. I think if I Ock, I have to open on Forest instead of the animals. I guess I have time to. This is a pretty sketch move. Hey, Zach. We're doing okay. I am taking a bit of a risk here. But I have extra outs in playing a cookery this round. With last action. We get to put some wood clamps on this way too, which is fun. Scholar's not happening, and that's fine. Is Milking Parlor an out? Milking Parlor is only an out if I get Hewer, so no. With Slicer taking 2 wood, Beachmeister hops on the chance to plow. Very solid play there. Though the field location is interesting. I expect Baritone to take traveling with some priority, but also wants fences this round, and Slicer took the time to uh, take 2 wood. It's possible Baritone will salt this pig by playing Salter shortly. Still take the pigs before the sheep. I mean, if they had a cookery, it would look better. I still expect my shed builder to do a lot of work here. I do expect to win Animal Activist, even without 4 Animal Activist stables. Taking the time to take, to play Shed Builder last round is causing me significant tempo issues here. But having fat stock down for my inevitable cookery, whatever means that may be, whether it's Miller or naturally on Major Minor, or even somehow Slicer taking Major Minor to upgrade to a Hearth now and being able to reno a fireplace, I'll eat one of my breeding pairs down to a single and still be okay. Yep, I agree that it would be very natural for them to have a cookery with Fur Cutter, but they do not. They declined to play a Salter, which they showed and then undid. And bought the other 2 majors that Basket Carrier typically gets or wants. The Clay Oven seems like a distraction, but they wanted the food boost for getting Drill Harrow and such done, which kind of makes some sense. I should be able to get a fireplace. First Ox Spin Doctor? Oh no. That's not Prodigy. I'm going to assume that Baritone takes the other clay. Now we are not liking scales. Now it's just minus a wood. Like, scales could have just been fruit ladder. I have to say that despite having Hewer, I have not done a good job getting majors. Late stone too. Like, not getting either of the three stone cost majors, not my best work. But this lumber mill, I still think will be pretty darn good. For throwing axe and joinery and milking parlor. Because of milking parlor, my plan is to eat away the pigs rather than the sheep. Which does mean that hearth is one more food than fireplace. And possibly the same number of clay actions, though what baritone does here could affect that. Slizer not upgrading this fireplace, I mean, is fine for them, but annoying to me. Slizer not starting is good news. It means I'm not going fourth next round. If I was getting Hewer this round, then I could have gone for just joinery or pottery. Or joinery, rather. They have 3 games of Agricola on BGA, but 100 elo. Which actually does mean they won a game against some decently rated players to get 100 elo by their 3rd game. But you also missed me talking about I think I know who they are. Or I've heard of them. So things have taken a turn that I was not expecting. And I get to take a beggar to breed a second type. How fun. Expensive Ock, 4 clay, regular major. Yeah, I was not expecting. And I think I'm not going to go too hard on myself for not expecting that. It is nice that I get some kind of compensation at all. With the second breeding animal. And going first in round 12. Like, I'm sorry I expected my opponents, one of my opponents to take start player in round 11. My bad. Fur Cutter now doing stuff. That was cow to wood. It's all tactical. Very obviously not the best shed builder play of all time. 3 food would have been safer. I am now 3 clay short of that hearth that I really want. And 3 clay's not going to show up for a couple rounds. Alright, if this is urgent, I take it. If it's cultivation, I may take 3 wood, 2 food. There are so many worse beggars than this. Like, this beggar, I'm not gonna be super duper worried about. Like, it's not good. I'm not gonna say it's good. Because it's not. Tactical beggar is when you plan for it and get good compensation. I was not planning for it, and my compensation exists, but I wouldn't call it good. I'd call it marginal. But having any compensation at all for your beggar is a ton better than not having any compensation at all for your beggar, right? Oh yeah, no, I've won tactical beggar games before, and have done fine in games where I've been forced to take beggars before. No, this is not getting me down, necessarily. Slicer, I kind of expect to take 2 cows here, but wood is reasonable for them, as is plow. Oh, plow is definitely their move. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. I could go 2 clay, 1 clay hearth. But how that more likely goes is 2 clay, 1 clay, slicer upgrades. And I... yeah. I don't want to waste 2 actions. I am okay taking small amounts of wood at a time. They all come with throwing axe food for now. Hearth here not good anyhow. Yeah. I mean, I would like to have a cookery for endgame feeding, but... that doesn't seem super likely right now. Beachmeister might spin doctor onto urgent here. Meaning they might not take cops. If I can get cops, I might just build 3 stables. Use Google. Alex. I'm not in the business of revealing, personalities if, they're anonymous online. tight fences for baritone. They do seem to expect more fields, given they have drill harrow. That seems like an adequate assumption. Maybe I will wait to build 4 stables. It's funny that my joinery points are going up. 2 of my points are imaginary. I could also fence out, but I quite obviously want stables. Here's the 2 cow move for Slizer. The reason I would build stables now is because I might just be getting cultivation to start next round. Reedstone is a viable move as well. Kind of depends on what baritone does here. Well, that implies they're not going to start for cultivation. And they're going to bake, which extra means they don't start for cultivation. Sounds like I'm getting cultivation. I guess the nice thing is that joinery is still giving me an excuse to take wood very aggressively, which hopefully locks in Animal Activist for me without trying anymore. We have a newly plowed field, seems good. Hewer procs. Also very important to me is reed of some kind. I mean, after baritone so baked, it seemed like me not getting cultivation would be insane. Ooh, I'm barely eligible for milking parlor. I was not paying attention to that closely enough. I guess not just joinery, but also not being fenced out means I am still a big threat to take more wood. Pigs are extremely reasonable, I have to admit. Someone was probably taking them. The cow is worth 2 food for milking parlor on top of its 2-point value. So taking a cow would be good this round. But there is so much that I can do, happily. 3 wood is still 2 food, or 4 food across the rest of the game. I could also get joinery food by playing ag fertilizers. Uh, there are some good actions on this board still. Plow takes me out of the milking parlor game. Cow does the opposite. The Reno Q getting kinda nasty here. Though Spin Doctor is capable of avoiding. Stockman as a fencing alternative. Plus the Stone Oven bread paddle. I suppose my third stable is misplaced. Should probably be where my mouse is. 2 sheep, 2 wood. I think I want to read Stone and hope to Reno Milking Parlor. Though Start Milking Parlor comes with a lot of value. Oh, that's probably what I should just do. Like, if I'm not starting or Renoing right now, I could get hosed. Those Slies are also asked to, like, Reno right now. Bad things could happen. Maybe this encourages Slizer to not Reno right now. Oh, 5 food? I thought it was 4, because I forgot how to read. Well, that's definitely the best milking parlor I've ever played, and it's not really close. Upgrade? Upgrade plus farm building food? And bucksaw? Yes? Please? Okay. So, we need to avoid baritone buying the other fireplace. Spinning on to urgent. I guess I can just prepare Reno fireplace, because I have the last 2 actions of the round. Yeah, and baritone has this plow available. Though veg seems more reasonable to me. Beachmeister not taking reed is kind of nice. I also just realized Animal Activist is under threat because of Fur Cutter. Unfortunate. Okay, so I can just Reno the fireplace. That seems fine. Do I want to sacrifice a food in order to defend the BMW? It's like a 2-point value. I think maybe. After fireplace, my food should be actually okay. Do I ever risk not getting Reno Fireplace next round? What I can do is take Reno parts, build Fireplace now, and take Cultivation. That gives a 2-point move to Baritone, but they still don't have, or they currently don't have pigs or veggies. They want a Reno. Though they have 5 actions, they probably want a So-Bake for food. Why did Baritone not take veggie? Like, I vaguely remember a market stall in draft. This is probably the right amount of food. Because eating sheep, pig in a fireplace feeds me. I think I take Reedstone because it's the right amount of food, and I don't think I'm getting... Well, I might get 1 food from Hewer next round. But I also might not. Because Pottery for Beachmeister seems possible, because they don't actually want a Reno. If they don't actually want to Reno, I should build Fireplace here and open Cultivation. And I don't need to eat the wood. Alternatively, instead of opening Cultivation, I could open 4 wood, 2 food to threaten Reno Fence. That seems good. I mean, I can already Reno Fence. Chat getting Friday levels of wild. Beachmeister's just building 4 stables. Like, there are no fences happening over there. And the fact that Beachmeister is building stables means that Baritone is not going to be able to build enough to win Animal Activist. Okay, this has been a fortunate endgame, I will say. That is a really good comment, Heroic Logic. Someone just got completely exposed. If I don't take Cultivation, I give Slizer a 5-point Cultivation, and, like, that's fine. They breed to 38. They grow to 41. I'm giving Slizer an amazing endgame here. But I think mine is just significantly better. pretty sure that's the case. Beachmeister not messing around, just building 4 stables now. Baritone on resource market, preparing Reno pottery. Or not. Maybe just not. Three wood is a consideration, but it takes me from 14 fences to 15, and the food is just inconsequential. So I'm just going to take these Ren fences in case Baritone gets any ideas. The fences are 4 points. The joinery value of the wood is 2 points, so it's 2 points of fencing. I guess, like, the other renovation, I have sourdough. Sourdough does give a wood. Also, plow is still available. I think I'm indifferent enough because Baritone can't take both fence spaces on me. Okay, I think I'm getting away with this one. Uh-oh. No, I'm getting, like... This has to be like a 6-point Ock for me to be losing to Slizer now. Yep, even a Cow Prince. Grow to 42, breed to 45, eat a point of pigs to 44. My Reno gets me above 44 on either Reno space. It is a little awkward that I had to give Slizer so much value in order to get my good endgame, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Beachmeister is sniping pottery, which might lead to a chain reaction of Baritone going Ren fence now. But I'll still be able to take normal fences. Unless Baritone Ren fence 0 fences. That might be an interesting move for them. However, again, the fencing is only worth 2 points for me because I have the joinery alternative points, so. Power of begging. It sure was. It sure as heck was. I'd be pretty surprised to see Baritone Reno no fence. And it is that veggie that I expected them to take at the end of last round. Yeah, so they want to Reno and take Reed and, like, maybe Pig. So they've got 5, 7, roughly 7, 8 more points. I guess the so, yeah, I mean, baritone can get to 43 and I won't really care. Let's wrap this one up. I'm not actually sure this is the most correct way to use all my wood. If someone wants to backseat, I will actually say that's okay. Backseat how I should be navigating my fences versus wood situation here. I'm gonna guess this is fine or equal to correct, but I could be -1 compared to some option that that I have never internalized. You think this is correct? This is definitely what my instincts say are correct. Is this a Gypsy's Crock? No, Pottery Yard. Okay, that's neat. You've seen fewer 50 scores? Yeah. Jujula Pro, thanks for the follow. I have been threatening this so for a while. Alright, I see a couple single point moves. And I think 3 wood is the most flexible of them. Maybe. I think 3 wood guarantees that all animal moves are single point. Along with, like, fishing. Also, if baritone doesn't so bake, I might just take it. But so grain, veg, bake 1 seems good to me. Baritone seems to be just plugging in all the options for the so bake here. The math can be a little difficult. Just having a grain out here seems wrong. Oh, this is actually correct because Cops is now, if no one takes pig, Cops is going to be 2 points. Because I have a spare sheep for 3 food right now, but I am currently 2 food short. Beej is going to spin on to Cultivation. Fun use of Spin Doctor, but I'm not convinced it was that great in this way. I guess I might only be 1 food short. If fewer procs, okay. Pig, fair enough. So I think, like, all of these are a point. Maybe not fishing. No, fishing's a point. So they are all also 0 resource value. And no one else is taking any of them. Baritone gets to Reno with a minor. Baritone completely missed that Beachmeister bought Pottery so early and plays Greening Plan. Okay. Eating the wood with joinery and taking one of the animals created resource value. You are right, Paul. Was Cops a point of food plus a spare wood? If Pig was still on the board, but Pig was taken. Yeah, thanks, Zach. Okay, so that little technicality I missed. Obviously not a big deal. Gonna score 48 here with the Beggar. Feel like I got away with a couple things this game, but yeah, especially that fireplace at the end felt incredible. Though it ends up that I didn't need it. Kind of funny. I have eaten nothing in this fireplace. It was just wood workshop value and the point. Baritone takes clay for a resource off. Like a tiebreaker situation. Yeah. Unless their cat is playing. That's a fun euphemism. For, like, running over the keyboard. Okay, so yeah, this is basically a 50-point game with that Beggar. Joinery was, not a disaster. Lumber Mill doesn't have stats on it, but we can count 1, 2, 3 wood of Lumber Mill value and 5, 6 of Wood Workshop value. Very big. Yeah, the tempo of Lumber Mill Wood Workshop was very big. And I should have given more thought to Milking Parlor earlier on, because now, I mean, this thing was insane for me. And I don't usually consider it to be a card that's worth a ton. So, semi-tactical Beggar win here. It was a long game. But yeah, I came into this one trying to have a little more fun. Admittedly, it was a bit of an easier table this time around, but I mean, pretty much anything's an easier table than the one yesterday. Generally, I would prefer to not get raid suggestions unless I'm asking for them. I think most streamers would operate that way. You are correct in this case, though. Okay, so thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game and the stream. I'm off tomorrow, back Thursday, off Friday, off Monday. I'll be at Strategicon, the local convention in LA. So if I don't see you on Thursday, I'll see you maybe next week, next month. I guess they're the same in this case. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We're going to raid NerdCube, who is doing some Terra Mystica. NerdCube, one of the best Terra Mystica players in history. So if you're into that kind of thing, which I assume you are, because you like watching me and I try to play a game at a high level, you should probably like NerdCube as well. So take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye.